Just visit the new CalgaryHerald.com with more of everything worth knowing.
And Jermaine's not only a receiver, but in a short period of time he's been in Toronto, has been named a captain of the 2010 Toronto Argonauts, and that's just a statement to what Jermaine's about and why we brought him to Toronto. It's exciting. I know for me personally, it's exciting to be back here in Calgary. Family and friends and even you media guys. I hate to say I miss some of you guys, but it's a perfect way to break in after being off the field for 7 years and to be able to come back and come to Calgary, which was I have so many roots here, and it's a perfect setup. It's like the CFL schedule makers just did it right, and to be able to have Jermaine with me, it's comforting. It was. I asked Jermaine. I said, "Boy, this really feels different, doesn't it?" And it really did feel different, and to be in blue, and but to look over and see Hilda over there, and the grandkids, and I just felt at home. And this is a place that tomorrow is going to be the Toronto Argonauts' house. So. That's the way we're trying to feel at home here, but it's odd being over here in this locker room, and it's odd being on that side of the field. But same point, it's still exciting.
Cope, what about you? You walked down onto the field.
It felt weird actually coming from way over here. Usually you're just walking out, you're right there on the field, but it definitely felt weird, and. I don't know. I felt butterflies, and I haven't felt butterflies in a long time, and I really think that's a good thing because it feels like it's a start of something new, and I'm eager, anxious, and I'm talking about big time anticipating that kickoff. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's something new to be in double blue on the other side of the red and white, but I tell you what, right now, I don't think there's anything else that I could do about it, so I wouldn't change it for the world. You just got to be happy that you still want it and still able to play this game. So I just thank God for it, and I'm going to go out and give everything that I can to play.
Anytime an athlete gets traded, they do come back and they want to prove to the other team, hey, man, you made a mistake, right?
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said that I didn't want to come back and prove that they made a mistake. But, whenever you really look at it and you look at it as a whole, when you think about how it went down, I know it wasn't just a Stampeder thing. Of course, I'm pretty sure they would have tried to keep me, but we had somebody else on the other side who really wanted me, who wasn't going to give up, and I know Coach Barker, and I know how he is, and he probably wouldn't have took no for an answer. He'd have threw the kitchen sink at him to get me, so it didn't matter, so it doesn't matter whatever they threw at him, he would overcome it to get me on his sideline, man, and that's what you got to love is around my age, people are starting to get sent home. But I thank God that I'm still wanted by somebody where I can go and lead and bring young guys to where they need to be in this league.
Your situation coming into this team compared to coming into this franchise in 04?
Well, when I came in 03, I was replacing Wally Buono, who was leaving, and I should have known better. But your ego takes over, and you think that you can do it. I was coming off of an XFL championship and a CFL championship, a Grey Cup win in Montreal, and just felt like I could handle an owner whose son was the quarterback. And ultimately, I couldn't. And I don't know that anybody can. I mean, who am I to when Wally Buono can't do it? But I compare this this to me is very close to 2005 when Ted Hellard and Frazani and that group took over the team, and then I came back as a general manager, and being a part of that, that's what this is like. It's Adam Reed has built this thing with a solid core of players. The core of players that are here has stayed consistent, and we've augmented it with a guy like Cope and some youth, and tried to bring a different culture in. And I think that things I learned from what Hellard and Frazani did in 2005 and taking what was at that time the worst organization. I can remember going out and there were 6,000 people in the stands here. We played Winnipeg, and I think there were 6,000 people in the stands. it was, it was as bad as it gets, and people forget that. And then to be able to go into that in 2005 with the right ownership and the right leadership, and watch an organization turn around, that's what I liken this to. I liken this to being able to go in there and take the things that I learned from there and hopefully bring that to Toronto.
Jim, what kind of advantage is there for you tomorrow, given that you know Stamps as well as you?
Well, the advantage is that I haven't coached in 7 years, so they don't really know what we're going to do on offense or defense or on special teams, and we have a staff that's fairly new. I know their players. I mean, a lot of them, I was involved in getting here, so I know their strengths and weaknesses. I think that's an advantage. I know their players a lot better than anybody here knows our players. So I would say that's an advantage. And having Cope here and understanding offensively what they do has been an advantage. So there are some advantages that we have going into this game that hopefully we can capitalize on.
Cope, we've heard some comparisons between Cleo Lemon's skill set and that of Henry Burris. From your time with him so far, is that a fair comparison?
I don't want to keep comparing him to Hank, but truthfully, I mean, I guess when he puts the one on his back, it kind of sets it off a little bit. But Cleo's agile, and he's got great footwork, and he can run, which automatically compares him to Henry. In this league, you're going to have defensive ends that are fast, that come off the edge, and you've got to be able to make certain guys miss in the backfield to keep from having sacks. I mean, everything's not going to always be perfect, and that's what Henry does, and that's what Cleo has in him. And whenever you compare him to Henry, his ball is almost the same. When I say he's got a strong arm, he has a strong arm. He can throw the field out late and get it there on time. And that's something that you don't see too
I don't want
late.
him to think that.
I know, but Cleo's not going to see this. But I'm just saying.
If he throws the field out late, Cope,
that's on me. Okay, all right. Yeah. But I'm saying if he did do it, I'm not saying that's something that it needs to be in his read. But if he did do it, I'm just saying that's something that Henry has as well. Like Henry has thrown a couple of balls late that you couldn't pick off on the sideline because it had so much heat on it, and that's the way Cleo's ball comes out, and that's what you gotta like about it. It's gonna be out, and it's gonna come with some thunder, So you gotta be ready to make a play on it whenever the opportunity's there. And outside of that, the comparison of him and Hank, I really think just us as receivers are going to be the ones to take all the pressure off of him, because the more plays we can make and point the finger at ourselves whenever something goes wrong, I really think the more pressure we take off of Cleo for this year.
Jim, what emotions do you expect to feel when you come out of the tunnel tomorrow night?
Oh, you asked a question, I get a little bit of a chill. It's going to be exciting. I mean, there's a big part of my life in the CFL has been here in Calgary, and it's just the perfect scenario for me to be able to coach my first game back in 7 years here in a town that's been so important in my life. So asked me after the game, and it's hard to put into words, but I know when you ask the question, I got chills. So I'm guessing that's emotion.
What about you, Cope? Is that? Do you think it's going to be emotional for you as well?
It's definitely going to be emotional for me, but I don't know. I mean, this is the longest stint that I've had in the CFL has been here in Calgary. Unlike Montreal, I've made my home in Calgary. So I met my wife in Calgary. So I've got a whole bunch of ties to this city, and they brought me so much joy being here, playing here, and just being good to me actually whenever I'm out, people speaking and just showing a lot of love and enthusiasm about the years to come or whatever. It's been great, and I love every bit of it, and I know I'm going to be emotional, but I'm definitely coming out to give my all in this game, and I'm glad, I thank God that it's early. I'm glad that we can get this game and the third game actually over with, and it'll all be behind me. Everything that's happened will be all behind me. I won't have to worry about it no more, and I can go on with the season. But I'm definitely going to be fired up, man. I'm trying to hold it in right now, but I'll be even more fired up when I put my pants on.
Colt, I'm fired up now.